Welcome to the Jeff Beck full auction results report. In this video we will go through each and every lot sold at the Christie's London sale on Wednesday 22nd of January 2025, and you will see the price realised in both British pounds and American dollars. These prices include the buyer's premium, so will represent what the winning bidder actually paid. Any gaps in the lot numbers will be items that were either withdrawn before the sale or that failed to reach a reserve. So getting started, lot number 1 is a 2006 Fender Esquire. The estimate on this guitar was £6,000 to £9,000 and the price realised was £75,600. Lot number 2 was a Marshall Super Tremolo JTM 45 Mark IV from around 1968, and the estimate on this was £4,000 to £6,000 and the price realised was £21,420. Lot number 3 is the guitar known as the Yardburst. This is a 1959 Gibson Les Paul Standard with a later neck from 1972. The estimate on this guitar was £40,000 to £60,000 and the price realised was £403,200. Lot number 4 was an American-made touring flight case from the late 1960s, early 70s, and this one had an estimate of £800 to £1,200 and it realised £23,940. Lot number 5 was a pair of Gibson PAF pickups, probably from around 1958 to 1960, an unmatched pair. The estimate on these was £2,000 to £3,000 and the price realised was £10,710. Lot number 6 was a Univox 6x10 speaker cabinet from around 1970. The estimate on this was £1,000 to £1,500 and the price realised was £14,490. Lot number 7 was the Oxblood. This is the Gibson Les Paul from around 1954. And the estimate was £350,000 to £500,000 and this one realised £1,068,500. Lot number 8 was the Telegib. So this was a Telecaster from 1956 and later. It had an estimate of £100,000 to £150,000 and the price realised was £693,000. Lot number 9 was a Fender Telecaster bass from 1969. This one had an estimate of £5,000 to £8,000 and it realised £30,240. Lot number 10 was this Fender amplifier from around 1950, a deluxe model with an estimate of £2,000 to £3,000. It realised £8,820. Lot number 11 was a Fender Pro amplifier from around 1953. This one had an estimate of £2,000 to £3,000 and the price realised was £9,450. Lot number 12 was a Fender Stratocaster neck from 1972. This had an estimate of £1,000 to £1,500 and the price realised was £30,240. Lot number 13 was a Fender Stratocaster from 1954 and around 1958. And the estimate on this was £50,000 to £80,000. The guitar realised £302,400. Lot number 14 was another Fender Stratocaster, this one from around 1960. It had an estimate of £50,000 to £80,000 and the price realised was £441,000. Lot number 15 was a Marshall speaker cabinet from around 1971 to 80. This is the model 1982 with the angled front. This had an estimate of £500 to £800 and the price realised was £9,450. Lot number 16 was a Fujigen for Roland 1978 solid body synthesizer guitar model GS-500. This had an estimate of £4,000 to £6,000 and the price realised was £13,860. Lot number 17 was another Fujigen for Roland guitar, this one from 1980, and the guitar came with a synthesizer controller G303 and synthesizer GR300. The estimate on this lot was £4,000 to £6,000 and the lot realised £7,560. Lot number 18 was a Greco solid body from around 1978. The estimate on this was £1,500 to £2,500 and the price realised was £9,450. Lot number 19 was another Greco solid body, this one from around 1978, model MX800. The estimate was £1,500 to £2,500 and the guitar realised £11,340. Lot number 20 was an Ibanez circa 1980, a solid body prototype Jeff Beck signature model JB-10 and the estimate was £3,000 to £5,000 with the guitar realising £18,900. Lot number 21, another Ibanez from around 1980. This one was also another prototype JB-10 with an estimate of £3,000 to £5,000. This one realised £16,380. Lot 22, an Ibanez again from around 78 to 83 and also a signature prototype JB-10 model again. The estimate was £3,000 to £5,000 and the guitar realised £11,970. Lot number 23, another Ibanez from around 1978 to 1983 and it's a signature model again, JB-10 with the estimate of £3,000 to £5,000. The guitar realised £10,080. Lot number 24, another signature prototype Ibanez model JB-10 with an estimate of £3,000 to £5,000. The guitar realised £8,820. Lot number 25, another Ibanez from around 1980 and another signature prototype, but this one model JB-12. This had an estimate of £3,000 to £5,000 and the price realised was £11,340. Lot number 26 was another Ibanez prototype JB-12. This one had the estimate £3,000 to £5,000 and the price realised £8,820. Lot number 27, this is yet another Ibanez from around 1979 and another Jeff Beck signature prototype, and this one was the model JB-15 with an estimate of £3,000 to £5,000. The price realised was £11,340. Lot number 28, we're still on with the Ibanez models. This is from around 1978, and this is a limited edition guitar with an estimate of £3,000 to £5,000. The price realised was £15,120. Lot 29 was a Chapman Stick, a 10-string guitar from around 1980. This had an estimate of £2,000 to £3,000, and the price realised was £8,820. Lot number 30 was a Fender Stratocaster from 1982. This is a vintage reissue with an estimate of £7,000 to £10,000. The price realised was £75,600. Lot number 31 was a Fender Telecaster from 1957 and later. The estimate on this was £50,000 to £80,000, and the price realised was £504,000. Lot number 32, this is the Jackson from 1983, a Jackson soloist that is signed by Tina Turner, who scratched her name onto the front of the body. The estimate of £8,000 to £12,000 was totally blown away and surprised everybody by hitting a realised price of £441,000. Lot number 33 was another Jackson soloist, this one from 1984, with an estimate of £6,000 to £9,000. The price realised was £176,400. Lot 34 was a Fender Princeton Reverb amplifier from around 1982. This one had an estimate of £800 to £1,200, and the price realised was £8,190. Lot number 35 was a Fender Twin amplifier, a Twin Reverb from 1983 to 1984. The estimate was £800 to £1,200, and the price realised was £11,340. Lot number 36, a Fender Stratocaster from 1959 and some of it from after 62. The estimate on this was £30,000 to £50,000, and the price realised was £201,600. Lot number 37, this is a Fender Squier Telecaster from 1983 to 84, and this one has the naked ladies all over it. The estimate of £1,000 to £1,500, and the price realised was £21,420. Lot number 38 is a Lynn Electronics analog drum machine, model LM-2 from around 1982 to 1985. This had an estimate of £1,000 to £1,500, and the price realised was £8,190. Lot number 39 was a Fender American Vintage Series 62 Jazz Bass from 1989. The estimate was £3,000 to £5,000, and the price realised was £11,970. Lot number 40 was a Fender American Vintage Series 62 Precision Bass from 1989. This one had an estimate of £3,000 to £5,000, and the price realised was £13,860. Lot number 41, we've got another Fender American Vintage Series 62 Precision Bass, this one from 1989. The estimate was £3,000 to £5,000 and the price realised was £13,860. Lot number 42 was a Fender Stratocaster, a Jeff Beck signature model, Artist's Prototype number 2 by J.W. Black. The estimate was £15,000 to £25,000, and this guitar from 1990 realised £113,400. Lot number 43, a Fender Stratocaster from 1989. This was a custom shop model for Jeff Beck by J.W. Black. The estimate was £10,000 to £15,000 and the price realised was £17,640. Lot number 44 was a Gretsch solid body duo jet model 6128 from 1955. The estimate was £8,000 to £12,000 and the price realised was £100,800. Lot number 45, another Gretsch, this one from 1990, an acoustic model, a Rancher 6022. The estimate was £3,000 to £5,000 and the price realised was £10,080. Lot number 46, another Gretsch, this one from around 1963, and this is a Firebird model 6131. The estimate was £6,000 to £9,000 and the price realised was £25,200. Lot number 47, another Gretsch from around 1972, this one. It's a Rock Jet model 6130. This had an estimate of £3,000 to £5,000 and the price realised was £16,380. Lot number 48 was a Fender Champ amplifier from 1953. The estimate was £1,500 to £2,500 and the price realised was £12,600. Lot number 49 was a Fender Bassman reissue from around 1990. The estimate was £1,500 to £2,500 and the price realised was £13,860. Lot number 50 were back to Gretsch, and this is a Duojet 6128 from around 1956. It had an estimate of £8,000 to £12,000 and the price realised was £115,920. Lot number 51 was a Valco Supro Dual Tone from around 1956. This is a solid body guitar. The estimate was £2,000 to £3,000 and the price realised was £21,420. Lot number 52 was a Valco Console Lap Steel Airline Rocket from around 1964. This one had an estimate of £1,000 to £1,500 and the price realised was £6,930. Lot number 53 was a Gorley Magnatone from around 1950. This is an electric lap steel guitar. The estimate was £500 to £800 and the price realised was £6,300. Lot number 54 was a Fender Electric Console Lap Steel Deluxe 8 String Master. From around 1963, the estimate was £2,000 to £3,000 and the price realised was £10,710. Lot number 55 was a Fender Stratocaster. This one, a left-handed custom shop guitar from 1995. The estimate was £4,000 to £6,000 and the price realised was £27,720. Lot number 58 was a Fender Telecaster, a B-bender this one, by J.W. Black. The estimate was £5,000 to £8,000 and the price realised was £23,940. Lot number 59, this is another Fender Telecaster, this one from 1996. This is also a B-bender model by J.W. Black. It had an estimate of £5,000 to £8,000 and the price realised was £21,420. Lot number 60 was a Fender Stratocaster from 1995 and 1996. This is an American classic model with a prototype neck specifically for Jeff by J.W. Black. The estimate was £8,000 to £12,000 and the price realised was £44,100. Lot number 61 was a Fender Stratocaster body by J.W. Black. This was known as the double whammy prototype. The estimate was £1,000 to £1,500 and the price realised was £20,160. Lot number 62 was another Fender Stratocaster, this one from 1993 and 1994 by J.W. Black. It was a custom shop model and it came, as you can see, with a Roland Vintage Guitar System VG-8 synthesizer and a VG-8S-1 expansion kit. And the lot had an estimate of £3,000 to £5,000 and the price realised was £9,450. Lot number 63 was a Fender Stratocaster from 1993 and 1998 by J.W. Black, another custom shop guitar. This had an estimate of £10,000 to £15,000 and the price realised was £30,240. Lot number 64 was another Fender Stratocaster, but this one is the one known as Anushka. This was Jeff's main guitar for both recording and performing live from 1999 to 2014. It had a prototype neck made by J.W. Black in 1990, and that was actually delivered as the neck on its own, and the body was made in 1993 by J.W. Black, originally supplied with a maple neck, which is included in the lot. And Jeff favoured this as his main guitar longer than any other in his career. So with an estimate of £20,000 to £30,000, it was perhaps not surprising that it went for £1,008,000. Lot number 65 was a very attractive guitar gig bag from Manny's Music in New York from around 1994, owned and used by Jeff. This had an estimate of £300 to £500 and the price realised was £9,450. Lot number 66 was a Musitronics Mutron octave divider from around 1975. The estimate was £500 to £800 and the price realised was £5,292. Lot number 67 was a Klon Siberia Overdrive gold non-horsey pedal. The estimate was £2,000 to £3,000 and the price realised was £13,860. Lot number 68 was a Fender Stratocaster, another one made by J.W. Black, this one from 1996. It had an estimate of £10,000 to £15,000, and the price realised was £94,500. Lot number 6 comprised 3 Marshall amplifier heads in a custom rack, the models JCM 2000 DSL50. The lot came with 2 Mike Hill BIS boxes, each inscribed in blacking JB, and a Snarling Dogs Super Ball Wine O Plus wah pedal on a custom board with a high gain switch. The estimate was £2,000 to £3,000, and the price realised for this lot was £18,900. Lot number 70 comprised these 3 4x12 Marshall speaker cabinets from 1998, models 1960BX. The estimate was £1,000 to £1,500, and the price realised was £6,300. Lot number 71 comprised 2 amplifier heads, the model JCM 2000 Dual Super Lead. There was a DSL 100 prototype and a DSL 50. The estimate was £1,200 to £1,800, and the price realised was £7,560. Lot 72 was 2 more Marshall Super Lead heads. These were JMP 1959 models. The lot had an estimate of £1,500 to £2,500, and the price realised was £11,970. Lot number 73 comprised another pair of Marshall amplifier heads. These were the model JCM 800 1959 Mark II Super Lead 100 watt amplifiers. The estimate was £1,500 to £2,500, and the price realised was £8,190. Lot number 74 comprised these 4 Marshall PA floor monitors, custom made for Jeff Beck, estimate of £1,000 to £1,500. The price realised was £6,300. Lot number 76 was this Gibson ES 175 guitar from 1991. The estimate was £4,000 to £6,000, and the price realised was £163,800. Lot number 77 was this Guild X500 model archtop from 2001. The estimate was £4,000 to £6,000, and the price realised £18,900. Lot number 78 was this Seymour Duncan electric, a Telecaster style guitar from 2001. The estimate was £5,000 to £8,000, and the price realised was £20,160. Lot number 79 was a Jerry Jones circa 2000 electric sitar reissue, a hollow body this one. The estimate was £3,000 to £5,000, and the price realised £6,300. Lot number 80 was a Dan Electro from around 1990 to 2000, a semi-solid electric baritone guitar. This had an estimate of £1,000 to £1,500, and the price realised was £9,450. Lot number 81 was a Fender Stratocaster from 2001. This was a custom shop guitar made for Jeff by Todd Krauser. I know the name, but I'm sorry if I've pronounced that incorrectly. The estimate was £10,000 to £15,000, and the price realised was £25,200. Lot number 82 was a Fender Stratocaster, again a custom shop model by Todd Krauser. The estimate of £15,000 to £25,000. This guitar from around 2001 had a realised price of £88,200. Lot number 83, another Fender Stratocaster by Mr. Todd Krauser with an estimate of £10,000 to £15,000. The price realised on this guitar, which was made between 2001 and 2009, was £88,200. Lot number 84 comprised two Marshall amplifier heads, the models JTM 45 Mark II and a JTM 45/100 40th anniversary limited edition model. The estimate was £4,000 to £6,000, and the price realised was £10,710. Lot number 85 was this Marshall 1974X combo from 2004. This had an estimate of £1,500 to £2,500, and the price realised was £11,970. Lot number 86 was this Kankaya 6-course double-string oud from around 2000. The estimate was £1,000 to £1,500, and the price realised was £6,300. Lot number 87 was a Harmony acoustic, a Sovereign H6562 model from around 1976. This had an estimate of £1,000 to £1,500, and the price realised was £8,820. Lot number 88 was a Gretsch solid body electromatic guitar. This had an estimate of £3,000 to £5,000, and the price realised was £22,680. Lot number 89 was a Babich electric guitar, an Octane model 818 from around 2006. This had an estimate of £1,000 to £1,500, and the price realised was £11,970. Lot number 90 was an Electric Sound Research Group travel electric guitar, which had a built-in amplifier with speaker, model Z03. This had an estimate of £300 to £500, and the price realised was £6,930. Lot number 91 was a Yamaha acoustic electric guitar, a Compass Series model CPX-155 from 2001. The estimate was £1,500 to £2,500, and the price realised was £16,380. Lot number 82 was another Gretsch, this one a Duo Jet Relic model from 2007. The estimate was £6,000 to £9,000, and the price realised was £22,680. Lot number 93 was a K electric lap steel guitar, an old Craftsman model from around 1950. The estimate was £500 to £800 and the price realised was £7,560. Lot number 94 was a Carlos acoustic 7/8 size guitar from Brazil, model 101, made sometime in the 1960s. This one belonged to Les Paul, who inscribed the top of the guitar, "To Jeff, I hate to part with my guitar, but play it, enjoy it. Should help you, Les Paul." The estimate on this guitar was £1,000 to £1,500, surprisingly low, and the price realised was £75,600. Lot number 95, I'm not sure about the pronunciation on this, a Philip Dubray and Richard Gorbut novelty guitar amplifier from 2006. The estimate was £1,500 to £2,500 and the price realised was £10,710. Lot number 96 was a Gibson Les Paul, a artist prototype Oxblood model, prototype number 1. The estimate was £20,000 to £30,000 and the price realised was £126,000. Lot number 97 was another Gibson Les Paul Oxblood model. This one had an estimate of £15,000 to £25,000 and the guitar from 2010 had a price realised of £30,240. Lot number 98 was a Gibson ES335TN from around 1965 to 1966. This had an estimate of £10,000 to £15,000 and the price realised was £30,240. Lot number 99 was Jeff Beck's small performance pedalboard. This had an estimate of £3,000 to £5,000 and the price realised was £35,280. Lot number 100 was another Fender Stratocaster, this one a custom shop model made by Todd Krauser in 2009. The estimate was £10,000 to £15,000 and the price realised was £63,000. Lot number 102 was a Wikowski 3/4 size solid body electric made in the manner of a Stratocaster. This had an estimate of £1,000 to £1,500 and the price realised was £5,040. Lot number 103 was a guitar made in the manner of a Fender Stratocaster in 2011 by Peter Jurkovic and Stefan Milkov from the Czech Republic. This guitar had an estimate of £1,000 to £1,500 and the price realised was £10,710. Lot number 104 was a Seymour Duncan Model 35 guitar in the style of a Telecaster, made in 2011. This guitar had an estimate of £5,000 to £8,000 and the price realised was £32,760. Lot number 105 was a Fender Stratocaster made in 2012. This one has some interesting graphic on the body, as you can see. The estimate was £2,000 to £3,000 and the price realised was £22,680. Lot number 106 was a 3/4 size electric guitar made by the Oriolo Company of Indonesia in 2010, a model FE-01. The estimate was £300 to £500 and the price realised was £9,450. Lot number 107 was an Epiphone solid body from around 1996. This is a Les Paul Pee-wee model. It had an estimate of £300 to £500 and the price realised was £5,040. Lot number 108 was a Mahalo ukulele made in the form of a flying V from the early 2000s. This had an estimate of £100 to £200 and the price realised was £5,040. Lot 109 was a Stentor violin, a Student 2 model from around 2000. This had an estimate of £200 to £300 and the price realised was £2,394. Lot number 110 was a PV hollow body electric, a Rockingham model from around 2013. This had an estimate of £1,000 to £1,500 and the price realised was £8,820. Lot number 111 was a PV hollow body, another Rockingham model from 1990. This one had an estimate of £1,000 to £1,500 and the price realised was £7,560. Lot number 112 was a Fender Custom Shop Stratocaster neck made for Jeff Beck by Todd Krauser in 2011. The estimate was £1,000 to £1,500 and the price realised was £15,120. Lot number 113 was a novelty electric guitar made by Bohemian Guitars of Atlanta, Georgia in around 2015. The estimate was £1,000 to £1,500 and the price realised was £18,900. Lot number 114 was Jeff Beck's Session and Studio pedalboard. The estimate for this was £2,000 to £3,000 and the price realised was £12,600. Lot 115 was a pair of Magnatone 45-watt amplifier heads. These were made in 2016 and 2018. One was a Super 59 Mark II model and one was a Super 59 M80. The estimate on these was £2,000 to £3,000 and the price realised was £30,240. Lot number 116 was a copy of the Beck 01 book. The estimate on this was £500 to £800 and the price realised was £4,788. Lot number 117 comprised two Marshall guitar amplifiers. These were two JMP 50-watt combos from 1978 and 1979. The estimate was £3,000 to £5,000 and the price realised was £40,320. Lot number 118 was a Fender Stratocaster with a reverse headstock made by Todd Krauser for Jeff Beck in 2017 and 2019. The estimate was £10,000 to £15,000 and the price realised was £226,800. Lot number 119 was Jeff Beck's stage performance pedalboard. He used this on his last tour in 2022. It had an estimate of £3,000 to £5,000, a bit on the low side, and the price realised was £126,000. Lot 120 was another Fender Custom Shop Stratocaster made by Todd Krauser for Jeff Beck, this one in 2017 and 2019. The estimate was £15,000 to £25,000 and the price realised was £252,000. Lot number 121 was a Fender American Vintage Series 52 Telecaster made in 2017. The estimate was £3,000 to £5,000 and the price realised was £63,000. Lot number 122 was a Gibson Les Paul Standard 59 model made in 2020. The estimate was £5,000 to £8,000 and the guitar realised £52,920. Lot number 124 was a Duesenberg semi-solid body electric, an Artist Series Johnny Depp signature model, custom built for Jeff Beck. This had an estimate of £4,000 to £6,000 and the price realised was £30,240. Lot number 125 was an Oberheim Electronics Maestro ring modulator RM-1A guitar effects pedal. This was made between 1971 and 1975. It carried an estimate of £500 to £800 and the price realised was £5,040. Lot number 126 was a Dean Zielinski solid body electric made in 2022 in the manner of a Stratocaster. This had an estimate of £2,000 to £3,000 and the price realised was £20,160. Lot number 127 was an American touring flight case from around the 1970s or 1980s. This had an estimate of £300 to £500 and the price realised was £18,900. Lot number 128 was another American touring flight case, this one from the 20th century. The estimate was £500 to £800 and the price realised was £12,600. Lot number 129 was a custom touring flight case made by the Packhorse Case Company of Peterborough in England, a 20th century case. This had an estimate of £400 to £600 and the price realised was £12,600. Lot number 130 was a Fender Stratocaster from 2023. This one was specially signed at the Tribute to Jeff Beck concert that was held at the Royal Albert Hall in May of 2023. The signatures include Eric Clapton, Ronnie Wood, Rod Stewart, Johnny Depp, Kirk Hammett, Billy Gibbons, Joss Stone, Susan Tedeschi, Derek Trucks, Olivia Safe, Gary Clark Jr., John McLaughlin, Imelda May, Chris Stainton, Nathan East, Rhonda Smith, Anika Niles, Sonny Emery, Robert Randolph and Doyle Bramall II. The estimate was £4,000 to £6,000 and the price realised was £94,500. This guitar was the property of the Folly Wildlife Rescue Trust and was being sold to benefit that cause. Lot number 131 was a painting by Andre Mariani of Jeff Beck and Johnny Depp. This had an estimate of £2,000 to £3,000 and the price realised was £12,600. And this was also sold to benefit the Folly Wildlife Rescue Trust. Lot number 132, also sold to benefit the Folly Wildlife Rescue Trust, was another picture by Andre Mariani, and this one was a tribute to Johnny Depp. The estimate was £2,000 to £3,000 and the price realised was £3,780. The final lot in the sale, lot 133, was another painting by Andre Mariani, sold to benefit the Folly Wildlife Rescue Trust, and this was called The Best Guitar and Jazz. It had an estimate of £2,000 to £3,000 and the price realised was £15,120. I hope you enjoyed watching the video.